Hello, Dominion. How are you? Can you hear me? Are you already streaming? Yeah. So that's great. Good evening, everyone. I think. Are you already streaming, Dominion? Please respond to me. I can't hear you. Okay. So, so good evening, everyone. Welcome to the second year anniversary of the Body Book Club. And as we are just waiting for a few more people, come. Uh, I would waiting for a few more people to come in. I would love to just give a background to how this book club started. So, I was working in a startup in 2024, and I was there. I was doing what I could do, and enjoying myself in the startup economy or the startup system. And I was privileged to co-lead a project somewhere in Bauchi State that got me back into the social impact and humanitarian side of things. And that really that really changed or redirected me back into social impact. And I was going to say, okay, I'm going to pivot. I'm going to leave startup software project management, and I'm going to get back into the social impact space. And while I was doing all of that, I was heavily reading every day. That was early 2024, and I happened to meet Mr. Tayo on Loshunde. So I was at Yakoyo, which is a restaurant Yakoyo Abula joint. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. So I was there somewhere in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, Nigeria, and I was there. One of our staff who was our business relationship manager, was not was not able to show up at work that day, and she was one of those people who were part of my team, the team I was leading. And so I led by example by going off to Yakoyo and sitting down and actually doing the work that she's supposed to do. And that was where I struck up a conversation with someone who was eating amala. And was it amala? Yes, amala. And talking about charging phones and all of that. And when I heard him speak, I was like, whoa. And then he also heard me speak, and I was like, whoa. And we had this connection. And I mean, that's a relationship that has endured. That's a relationship that has endured for over 2 years now. And I mean, that's how I met Mr. Tayo. So remember, I said I was reading that period, right? That was the early days. I think I had done about 100 days. Yeah, no, not 100. Yes, over 100 days of daily reading. I had done that. And so Mr. Tayo, when I spoke to him about reading and how people need to improve, he said, oh, that he has a book, or he wrote a book. And he was gracious to give me a copy of the book. Because I was already on a book. What book was I even reading that period? I can't remember the book exactly that I was reading. And because so welcome everybody. We are live. We are live. We are live. So because let me talk to them in the body book club properly. We are live, and I think I'll have to check the YouTube so that I can also get questions there. I'd like to check the YouTube from here. YouTube link. So he said he also had a book and all of that, and when he gave me that book, I was like, from where to where? The first page after the cover of that book, I I was literally talking to myself, right? I was literally arguing myself big time and saying, like, what does this man mean? let me show you what it actually says. I think it's up on my on my on my on my LinkedIn and on my Facebook. Let me pull up that picture right now and read that very interesting screen. I believe that's a way to start off this particular conversation of the Body Bookclub being on my great. Our keynote speaker is here also with us. So good evening, everyone. For those on YouTube, these are people who are in the Body Bookclub. At the moment, the Body Bookclub is strict. You don't get to stay if you are not reading and actively reviewing. So back to my story, right? So the future news, the future, October 1, 2030. Nigeria's incredibly good fortune continued this week, reaching a feverish high when the country's Minister of Finance announced at a press conference today that the economy recorded a 10% increase in gross domestic product (GDP). This has led to an all-time GDP of $1 trillion, making this year's GDP the highest ever since gaining independence in 1960. GDP was $4.21 billion. That's in 1960. According to the minister, chief among the factors responsible for this climb in GDP is the over 1 million Nigerians within the ages of 25 to 35 earning in excess of 1 billion per annum. She also noted that there are more than 50 million of them living across 7 Nigerian cities as innovative entrepreneurs and earning in excess of $500,000 per annum. She added that each of the cities currently generates and contributes a whopping $25 billion every year to Nigeria, to the nation's GDP. This incredible improvement in performance of the nation's economy is as a result of an effective long-term growth plan, which we have been following for several years. This plan has seen massive investments in infrastructure and youth empowerment, which in turn has brought in massive foreign investment from every region of the globe and eventually stable and strengthen the naira. With the current trajectory, Nigeria's reputation as a giant of Africa has been fulfilled and ascertained, as she now commands an admirable position in the global socio-economic and political landscape. The Honorable Minister said that, okay, just so that I don't just keep reading like that, this is a very interesting article. It is sad that with the way we are going right now in the nation, this is not going to be reality, right? By 2030, we are in 2026. Oh, miracles can still happen, and we hope that beyond even just hoping that it happens, we hope that we are part of the people that are actually spearheading this change. So for context, the Body Bookclub has been reading and reviewing at least a chapter. There's no day, I have checked it, I have gone back to recheck, there's no day within this 730-day period that one person did not review something in the Body Bookclub for 730 days. For 730 days. And it's humbling. It's humbling. We read a lot of times. If people are going to be honest with you, right, they will tell you that many of the days, I myself, I struggle to read. Sometimes the book is just like clanging cymbals, so I listen. It's just like bang, 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 bang in my ear. But at the end of the day, when I sit down, to review, I find out that I learned one thing or the other. So for people who are thinking that these people that are reading for 730 days, these people that are reading forever and ever, is it that they don't feel this challenge that I have? Is it that they don't feel bored? In fact, one of the books that I'm currently reading, Mastery by George Leonard, he says that backsliding is a typical thing for a human being, where there's such a thing as homeostasis. When you try to change, when you try to fundamentally, foundationally change, you find out that your body will fight back, people around you will fight back. So people around me said, it's about reading, just leave. I mean, I was part of the pro. It's not about reading gang. And I had to literally swallow my 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 pride and go back and tell people that, oh, there's really something about reading. There's really something about reading and reading consistently. We have quite a couple of people from the Body Book Club here right now, and I really don't want it to be about me just talking. We are 7 minutes in. So I would give, because David is just joining and Mr. Joseph has been here for a bit, so I'll give Mr. Joseph 2 minutes. Basically, tell us, how has your experience been in the Body Book Club and how has it affected your life? Mr. Joseph, you have the mic.
Okay, good evening, everyone, and I'm so excited to be here and to be a part of this amazing club, right? So I have always wanted to, um, I've always been wanting to do self-development, wanting to read books, become a better person, but it's been quite difficult. I got in. Mr. Chima should know my story. I got in earlier on, way earlier on, and I got kicked out at some point. So, but luckily I was able to get back in by God's grace. And honestly, it has been really helpful, right? One of the reasons why I don't take it for granted being in this club is because I notice we don't just read any kind of book, right? We don't read the books that teach you success in 12 days. I like there's a maturity in the selection of the books that I really appreciate. And currently, I have personally started a couple of projects, new phases of my life that before I started reading this current book we're reading now, this mastery, I've been having this what's the word to call it now? This fantasy in my head that I'll just start this thing in 1 month. I'll just experience some kind of supernatural growth and all that. But every chapter by chapter, has been really humbling, and I've been unlearning and relearning a lot of things. And I just want to say that Body Book Club is more than just developing a reading habit, which I have always wanted to develop, but it's actually changing me. It's making me wiser, making me better, making me to be more more resilient and more efficient in even the little things, the day-to-day things. Yeah. So it's a big blessing for me. It's one of my prized possessions that I would say I got in 2026 when I'm listing my blessings. Yeah. I think that's all I have to say for now.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Joseph. That is heart wrenching. There are very few times. Okay, when we had begun, because I had quite a little time on my hands, right, and so I could always call for calls and talk, and sometimes just encourage us with my own life. And you said it. It's not easy. I will keep saying it. Me, I don't like reading. I personally don't like reading. It's going to be very weird, but it's something that I have to wake up every day to choose. So putting this up together, putting this whole thing up together, it has kind of consumed my day. I have work. I have lots of work. We're in project implementing season, and I have a lot of things to actually juggle. And that's why I read yesterday, but I've not reviewed. I'll be patch reviewing that today, but I just had to towards I'll start book. I saw the kind of academics book. Point is actually nice. The books when I'm reading like academics book. Point is actually nice. The books when I'm reading like but another thing that I think I can count but another thing that I think I can count no excuse. Another thing that I think I can count no excuse. I'll do that. I think that I stand I stand the test. It's within the truth. That's just the truth. The mastery and reading. You are not there's nothing that is certain, but you are just there for thinking about it. So
And happy to celebrate the club. The journey has been a time of growth. Actually, this should be the third time I joined the book club. I struggled with one book for 6 months, and I wanted the change. Until I met you, Mr. Chima, in Mr. Mr. Chidi, sorry, is a huge one. Is a huge one. Is a testimony, and the fact that I have finished 10 books, and what more can I say than continues this movement because I have come to confirm continues this movement because I have come to confirm that you can actually interact with people you cannot meet necessarily, you know, physically, that, you know, physically, that you admire. Kind of interactions, conversations are quality, the quality of the person we are becoming. Because I believe there is a goal, there's a target. There is actually, at the end of the day, there's actually something where we're going to be known for. And these little steps of reading books every day, oh my God, for me, it's a gold mine. It's a huge investment, and I am very grateful. Thank you so much, Mr. Chima. Thank you so much, sir. And once again, happy anniversary.
I never thought that, like, I've never started anything that required a daily deposit, and it lasted more than like maybe 1 week or 2 weeks. That's how bad I was. Okay, I told you I had done 100 days consistent, over 100 days reading. So at least I knew that, and I also reading one chapter a day. Oh, my reading consistent is, even if it's one paragraph, I must read it before I sleep. That was the way I was. That was what that 100 days was. But when Mr. Mr. Joseph, you are laughing. That's how to start. You start like a beginner. Give yourself grace to start like a beginner. That was what my 100 days was, right? Some days I read like almost half a book. Some other days I read just a chapter. But the interesting thing was, the more I read, the more I just knew that I needed to grow. And so prior to that time, I don't think I had done anything that needed daily investments. In fact, the day I got to the point of the compound effect, or where they said that you have felt bad, as it wasn't Mr. Joseph said, that sometimes you want to do things and you just want to do it, and you think that in 1 week, 2 weeks, the whole world will now start calling you boss. Hey, this one, you are changing, you are doing. It's not like that. It's just not like that. It's not like that. He said 30 months. And so I look forward to the Body Book Club in 30 months' time. And I just look forward to what will be. I keep saying this, that the reason people will finally catch on and invest in the Body Book Club, of course, I don't know if this is the year where we're going to build our own proprietary software, but that is in the works. We are constantly making talks about that. But knowing that about 1% is only about 1% or less of software succeed. So we don't want to build something that will not succeed. We really want to understand the market, understand what we're building. The value proposition should be clear. Build a blue ocean and then float a software. And by God's grace, I mean, all of you that are speaking so highly about what you've experienced thus far, it is one of those things where you go and tell people naturally and say, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is how I'm tracking what I'm doing, and this is how I'm doing what I'm doing, and then we'll be able to build something that Africa can be proud of. So I didn't know we'll get to the 6-month mark, because after Youthnomics, what book did we read? Blue Ocean Strategy. In fact, in the early days of the Body Book Club, Pastor Lawrence is here. He will tell you, there was a book that I said of business. It was written about economics. The book was terrible. But we've grown. We've learned how to look for. We've grown thus far, right? And we've learned how to look for very interesting things. very interesting books that actually really adds value, and not that they'll just leave one person behind. So I'm seeing two people here, Mr. Oluwayomi and Mr. John Okeoma. I don't know if you are part of the Body Book Club. I don't think so. I know the bulk of people that are there. It even helps that we are very few. So I don't know if Mr. Oluwayomi,
It's
you
good
have something to
portion.
say.
Oh, it's good portion.
Good portion. How are you doing? I spoke about you earlier. Good portion. Please hit it. Tell us the Body Book Club.
A
How's
story
it?
to tell. Oh,
Oh yeah, now tell
Chima
simple.
is too strong. Oh. Okay, good evening, family. I'm actually very happy to join this anniversary. Honestly, this family has been so amazing. But then, Mr. Chima got me kicked out though once. And the pain wasn't that easy because I begged him, I gave him my reason. Then I was actually enjoying the class. I mean, the consistency, everything was just very sweet. But then I wasn't up and doing. I thought the group was, if you just give your excuses, they can actually excuse you, they can actually consider you. But not for this young man, I be old man. I came to him, I begged him. Oga said that I should wait for another badge. And that was how I got kicked out of this wonderful platform. Did it pain me? Of course, it pained me. I kept um checking his status. Whenever he posts things, I will go there. I think I'm the first person to actually view his status that thing. I was always following his status up and down because he told me he was going to post the link on his WhatsApp status. So I'm lucky to see it. I can actually join. I said no wahala now. I kept checking his status, and by the grace of God, here I am, up and doing. Better I post my review than not posting because I'm very sure that he's going to kick me out again. Well, my free advice is don't throw that part though, because that man, he don't send your excuses. He don't send. He actually wants us to be up and doing, and trust me, this group has been the best so far. I've joined so many groups online, but this particular group have actually changed my life, and I'm grateful for that, honestly. And I thank God for the audacity He gave me to slide back, like nothing happened though, like nothing happened. And I honestly I don't have much to say, but this club completely blew me away. Like from my first session, I think I got to know about this club from my friend, one guy that bakes cake or something like that. So from there, I got to know about this group. And is it challenging? Of course, it is. But then at the same time, I am inspired. I mean, our reviews, some reviews here, they genuinely like rewire brains. There are some reviews that you read, you say because they wonder if not the same book you read, this person they give review, another book. I mean, we have smart individuals in this group, and I'm actually grateful for that. And this um family is not just an ordinary community. It's life, it's pattern, and trust me, it has been a wonderful um thing. I mean, it has been a wonderful opportunity to me joining this group, and I'm grateful for that, sir. Thank you very much. And just like I said earlier, please don't let Mr. Chima kick you out. You no go like him. You won't like it. Thank you.
Good portion. I made it up to you. Shebi, if you think I no longer read people's reviews, if I've not dropped my own review, because if you read a person's review of a chapter that you've not dropped your own review, when you're now trying to do your review, it squeezes out some uniqueness from your own perspective. So I would read, like now, the last chapter I reviewed was The Edge, right, or something like that, and I've read the other two chapters. So I'm not reading all your reviews that I'm saying. I'm just looking at your name and your chapter. That's just how I take notes. Your name and your chapter. I will not read your review until I have dropped my own review. I can see things from my own point of view. Then I now start looking at, oh, okay, so this was also there, and so that was also there. And the sweet thing about books is beyond videos, right? Is that almost everybody will have the same thing to say about the same video because the visual hooks and all of those things are there. But well-written books, what will set Mr. A on fire will be totally different from what will set Mrs. B on fire. And like that, like that, like that. We can look at the same pages and just see very incredible things. Mr. David, you just joined us. Welcome. Mr. Oluwayomi, you have been here for a while. I don't think you're anybody book club for me, except you are David Dennis. No, David Dennis joined and is no longer here. So, Mr. Oluwayomi, do you have anything to say to us before we take David quickly? Then our main speaker speaks.
Okay. Good evening. I thought this was what we were going to be saying today. Already after. Um. Well, I did join the book club once, so I'm joining again second time. And like what most people have mentioned earlier, personally, I really am a very big fan of reading. I used to be an avid reader, and before the namby-pamby of life situation just disrupted that flow. And ever since then, I've been trying to get back to that genes. And because I know that leaders are leaders. In fact, everything I've ever achieved today after God is by the books I've read. I read them, I apply them, and I see results. So I really want to get back to that genes, and it has been very challenging, maintaining that habit. So when this was posted on the state for the first time, it's something that I knew I needed. But that time, I was also going through a lot of pressure, mentally from work and every time to balance some things. So I couldn't keep up with the pace of daily reading, and because of my kind of work as well, I couldn't keep up. Sometimes my work requires me that I leave. I get out from the house very early in the morning as 5 a.m. and sometimes I get home very late at night, almost maybe 10 p.m. So keeping up was a big struggle, a very big struggle, at that time. But I enjoyed the structure of the book club, and that's what I thought of when I said I was going to join the game. I like the fact that we are, like you said, using peer pressure. It's a form of pressure to ensure that, and for me, it's a form of accountability. Accountability is actually good because it helps you put things in check. And I think if there's any reason why I'm joining the book club, it's because of that accountability. When you have somebody who is going to make you accountable, you sometimes will fulfill your obligation. Like what I don't know her name, what she mentioned earlier when she said that sometimes she can be tired and all, but when she sees those pressure, when she sees, she just has to get back in form and say, okay, let me just quickly do one or two. Honestly, and to be honest with you, the major reason I'm joining the book club is because of that accountability. I love to read. I like to read, but I need that accountability. I need to be accountable, and that's one of those things I'm hoping that the book club will give. So the first time I joined, I couldn't keep up, and I like the fact that you were very firm. And for people who couldn't keep up, you gave them some grace, and if they still can't meet up, before you know it, you're waking up the next day and you're out of the group already. So I'm like, the first time I was like, can this guy just chill? It's not really easy managing all of these things. But the truth is that when you have something that is that steady, that doesn't break or doesn't bend the rope, for people who are taking it serious, you also keep them in check. And the way the brain is wired psychologically, you just know that if you can't bend this, so it's either you give in all in or and that kind of a thing, it's just more or less like burning the bridge. So there's no way to go. So it's either you go all in or you just go all out. Just pick one. And the good thing is that if you persist, the brain will adjust. You just begin to adjust to that region, to that habit. But starting initially can be very tough. but with consistency, it becomes normal, and you just adjust, adapt. Okay, this should be my daily basis. And looking at the atomic habits, how you do one thing is most likely you do other things. You can begin to get habit stacking, because if you are consistent every day reading, which is actually it's a good habit actually, it's very, very good habit. you know, Reading every day consistently. Now, well, for a start, reading a one chapter might be a lot, but even if it is just a page or two, every day consistently, you go a long way. So for me, so that's why I said, okay, I think I'm ready now. Because I really need it. In fact, the way I am, it's like if I don't read, I feel like I am dying. So I said that I want to start living, even though I'm alive, but I feel like I'm not living. And one of the reasons is because I've not been reading consistently. I've not been happy. So I feel like I'm dying. So there's no point being alive. You're not gaining new knowledge. You're not learning. For me. So yes.
Okay. Then, Wyoming. That's interesting. If you were part of the Body Book Club, you can give us about 1,500 and we get back in. That's our severance fee to join back. And in this anniversary, we're looking at it. In fact, we've had very interesting things happen that people have paid the 1.5, and I think it's not severance enough, because some people pay it and they just don't review again. So we are thinking of upping the ante, so that maybe if you give us 5K now, 10K to come back in, you know that, except we want to keep dashing us 5K, we'll never say no. We could just remove you, give us 5K, come back. It's interesting. Yeah, so tonight I did the bulk of the speaking and setting the stage, right? You see, they are even giving me, as we are here talking about, they are giving me work that I have to do this night. And for some people that say, oh, they go out and they have to come back and all of those things. I mean, I was joking when I said people, we've dealt with childbirth, we've dealt with loss, we've dealt with depression, we've dealt with, in running the Body Book Club in these past 2 years, it has know people intimately and know some of the things that people are going through, and people's persistence to come back and keep reading is also a major motivation for me to ensure that it just opens me up to the idea that this thing is adding so much value to people's lives, that people are going through a lot and they are still reading. So you cannot afford, me myself, I cannot afford to slack. And let me say the truth, all of you are the people that are putting fire at my bum, because I know if I don't read and review as I should, I don't have the right to come and tell you, why haven't you read, why haven't you reviewed, why haven't you done all those things. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense that I'll force you to do what I myself will not do. So today, the person that is basically going to be talking to us that's going to take the stage after now, is someone who joined us on the 13th of May 2024. Was part of the first batch. He's my pastor. So that's another thing entirely. And he joined. I was doing a book club, and he's the first time I'm doing book club like this. And he joined. And to be very honest, I've not removed him once since that 13th of May. Not because he's my pastor, but because he has never defaulted. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So for the whole 730 days that the Body Book Club has been in existence, okay, we still reading the introductory parts of what they call it now, of economics on the 13th of May. But I mean, we started before the 13th week. The first congregation of people happened like maybe from the 9th, from the 8th, 9th of May. That was when the first congregation of this Body Book Club happened. And okay, he's still here. David, you are jumping in and jumping out. It would have been great to hear you call, because you are one of the people that joined several times. But we are moving on. I've already started introducing, so maybe we'll just hear from you before we end. So this is someone that has been here all through. every single book that I think he has read more books in the Body Book Club than I have. Do you want to know why? Because I went to school. I had schoolwork for 2 weeks, 3 weeks for my exam. I had to say, okay, you know what? Give me a few minutes. I have to face my schoolwork and all of those things. And those things happened. And he had killed the fourth. In fact, in some of those days, I come back and I try to look at what was the last chapter he reviewed. That's where we are. So this is someone that I greatly respect. This is someone that had the Body Book Club, Kyle. The Body Book Club, I'm not sure it would exist like this without him, because at the end of the day, he has supported in ways that one cannot even begin to say. But above and beyond that, he has been humble enough to keep, I mean, he has not posted anything that is not about books there. He has not tried to say, oh, because this person has been without me, I'm going to do. I mean, he's been someone that he just does what he's supposed to do, read, review, and keep it going. So please give a digital round of applause for hey, he doesn't want me to call him pastor, but he's my pastor anyway. Pastor Lawrence Okeni, as he takes us in the next, I mean, as he just takes us for like over 10 minutes of what it is to be in the Body Book Club for 730 unbroken days.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Chima. I'm grateful to be here. Thank you for founding this great company of stuff. The truth is that good things sell easily, and I appreciate the applause too. Thank you, everybody. I'll be brief. I've had a long day, but I'll be brief. And I've heard all the reviews, and it's just beautiful. You know, I've always liked to read. I've always wanted to read, but I think the great thing about the Body Book Club is the structure of accountability that is wrapped around it, you know, that makes you read even when you don't really feel like it. And it's like second nature to me now. I always look forward to reading, and no matter how busy it gets. In fact, I've been out of base for a bit, but I still do my best to read. In fact, it's something I always look forward to. And to my own mind, before I just say a few things that the Body Book Club has done to me or for me, I would say that to my mind, this is one of the most important things going on in Nigeria at the moment, the Body Book Club. And it's unfortunate that not everybody sees it. But then if everybody saw it, then everybody will be ahead, right? But the Body Book Club is so important. In fact, I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, maybe the next level is to introduce it to school, partner with schools, secondary schools, and get them to make parents, you know, register their awards and pay maybe a token of 500 or 1,000 every month, and ensure they read and review every day. Because when they talk about human capital development, this is what it's about. Yeah, thank God for the structured education, the formal education, but I've always known that the education that really makes the difference in anybody's life, what differentiates one Joe from the other, is personal development. Personal development. It's the education you give yourself that will distinguish one person from the other. And reading is a major part of personal development. In fact, it's at the core of personal development. So I must really applaud the founder, Mr. Chima, for this very noble, you know, task and this noble venture. It's more than a task, you know, the Body Book Club, and long may the Body Book Club continue. So let me just say that one thing I read in the Body Book Club, maybe I would say a phrase that like slapped me was, "You don't know what you don't know." You don't know what you don't know. I don't know if anybody has really thought about that thing, because you don't know what you don't know is heavy. As in, you can be ignorant and just be swagger like that. You don't know what you don't know. I mean, that really messed me up. And I'll just say a few things I've really learned. Let me say it overtly before I become more specific. I've improved things for the last 2 years. I've improved tremendously and significantly in the last 2 years. And one thing I noticed now is that people I really used to look up to, I don't really look up to them no more. Not because I want to disrespect anybody, but the things they are now saying, the things they say, I discover I've read them. I mean, I've read these things. Like I was telling Chima the other day that the platform and this South African guy came to speak, and I discovered he was speaking from the e-myth. You know, most of what he was saying was the e-myth, and that's what reading does to you. You grow, and I mean, you so grow. And one other thing I'll say, vertly again is, everybody has intuition. Intuition is a great thing, but you may have intuition but not be confident because you've not seen it written or you've not seen great authors write about what intuition has taught you. So, I mean, it just grows your confidence when you read something you've known without necessarily reading it, right? It gives you a level of confidence, self-confidence that I think nothing else can give. But let me just be a bit more specific now as I try to round up. The psychology of money. The psychology of money. Or okay, maybe before I talk about the psychology of money, you just discover when you read and you read so many texts, you discover that knowledge is not as broad as it seems or as you thought it was, because you see that what most people are saying in most texts, there's just a thread joining all the things being said. For instance, the psychology of money, the mastery that we are reading right now, the compound effect, and many other texts we've read, they teach that success is not overnight. That, mastery, or okay, let me not say mastery so that I won't just limit it to mastery, but things don't just fall in place overnight. It takes time. It takes time. And let me tell you one thing I was not doing faithfully, and I started doing faithfully after the psychology of money: savings. Because the guy said, don't just save towards, say, your rent or this or that, school fees or whatever. He said, just save. Just save, because you don't know what tomorrow may bring. That, there could be downturns. Like, life has ups, it has downs. But if you really know what you're doing, the zero sum game, or the sum of it, or the sum of the troughs and crests will be net positive. But because you cannot really anticipate what life will throw at you, just save. Like, save for the rainy day. And he said, when you save and invest it, right? But right now, my savings have not necessarily got to investment proportions. But what I do now is I save faithfully. Like, the apps like Money Point, I have Money Point and I have Smart Cash PSB. I save on both of them. In fact, before I sleep tonight, I'll throw in some 20,000 here and 30,000 there. I save, and I think Smart Cash PSB gives me 15%, and I see the money dropping every day. And the other one gives, I think they say between 11 and 17%. I've not really calculated to see what they give, but every day I see something dropping. And because it compounds over time, I am not touching those savings for anything. Instead, it will just keep adding until it gets to a critical mass where it starts thinking of index funds and all those other things. But it became so vivid from reading the psychology of money that, look, things happen over time. But there are things, that will happen that you may not really plan for. So save. And when you save, invest it. And it happens over a long time. He said Warren Buffett started saving from, was he age 10 or 20 or so? Like, it was when he was like 50 that he really made the big buck, right? And it takes time. So why not start? So, and that's why I'm saying that the Body Book Club is so significant that, look, young people in secondary school have to get a hang of this thing, right? Look, there are many other things I've really learned, and I would love to say, look, the e-myth, as an entrepreneur, I mean, that thing has changed my entire perspective. I learned that, look, and that's just the truth. Many people that think they're entrepreneurs are not really entrepreneurs. They are just technicians who are probably tired of their day job or angry with their boss or something and just stepped out thinking they're entrepreneurs, but they are just technicians. And then he talked about the management side of things and then the entrepreneurial side of things, which is creative and everything. And then he went on to say how Ray Kroc went about, his stuff. And, I mean, beautiful, beautiful. So I'm just a better person. And I've so grown in the last 2 years that I'm not sure another degree would have made me grow this much. So personal development is key because human capital development is at the bottom of every trajectory that ends up in success. I always say that any nation that or anywhere you see things working and working well is because people are behind it making it work. And if a nation is working, it's the people that are making it work. If we develop our people, if people commit to personal development, Nigeria can be better. Our states can be better. Where Nigeria is the way it is because of the way the bulk of Nigerians are the critical mass of Nigerians. You can imagine Bookclub doing so much that we form a critical mass of people who commit to personal development. Believe me, this book club can change this nation. And that's why I anchor this evening. Again, I want to thank the founder and everybody who has been part of this over time, and long may it continue. Thank you so much, Mr. Chima.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Of course, you can. This one is beyond. There's just a whole lot to think about. When you said that you don't know what you don't know, I would say that I'm obsessed with A Whack on the Side of the Head. That book by Robin von Ork. I'm obsessed with it. That book. I'm literally obsessed with it. I think I read it like 3-4 times in a year. And it's always my go-to book when we are waiting for people. But when we are not waiting for people again, we just hasten up and come and get to us where we are, and let's just read together. E-Myth also did a lot of eye-opening because we have to what do they call it now? Sorry, I'm getting work messages, so just bear with me. We have to put a proper structure around what we're doing to make it sustainable so that we can actually really grow and grow it out. And thank you, sir, for talking about secondary school students. I think it's a conversation that we should have, and let's see if we can pilot with a school and find a way to actually and truly people in secondary school can read. Before David tells us how his experience in Bookclub has been, I think in this group that we have, David has joined and removed like more times than anybody, if I remember correctly, more than any of us here. And David is someone who is very dear to my heart also and has worked with me on several things. And one of the things that is very interesting with running something like Bookclub is that you have to remove people that you love. I've removed my siblings. I've removed people that I respect, right? Because I mean, it's just the system. E-Myth brought me back to reality. Sometimes I felt that we can do more than one chapter. But having that one chapter at the back of your mind, and for some people that are thinking that one chapter is long, it's basically book dependent. And for many of the books that can help your life, one chapter is just enough per day. I mean, it's about 15 minutes or 20 minutes of reading. That's what an average of the one chapter is. So it's not like it's demanding a whole lot from you. But before I keep talking, David, over to you. How has the Bookclub been for you thus far?
Yeah, good evening, sir. It seems that record of being the most kicked out and joined back thing. I think for me, one of the things that I just kept telling myself and is the fact that I can't. Okay, I'll start by saying a good evening to everybody. Sorry, my network has been fluctuating, and this is actually a big feat because I remember when Mr. Chima started this. I remember it when we started. I mean, then I think now he's a bit lenient. Before, after 2 days like this, if you don't review, you're kicked out. After probably one reminder, you're kicked out. I remember some persons complaining. I mean, we were just trying to because I mean, having that reading culture is something one must deliberately build, and so it's really great to see it being 2 years, and it's almost like, oh my god, this just shows possibilities, right? Things that can happen. I mean, consistency shows consistency and possibilities once want to put our heart and mind to this. And thank you for this platform again, Mr. Chima. I know I've like you said, the difficult part is kicking people that you know. I remember sometimes I mean, he just literally removed me a day before me. I seen the next day and he's just talking to me. Like you're just having a conversation. But I mean thing, and pushing people to be the very best. You'd have to do it. You'd have to turn your face to how they look at you and just do what's needed. You just have to do what's needed, and in the end, like I look back, for me, I'm there.
This price that it is today. To build a this today. To build a for some of the people that I spoke to. Okay, thank you, Mr. Mohammed. You can see that some of the things I was told is that Nigerians will not nonsense. Some of the things I was told is that Nigerians will not nonsense. Um, Let me not use the word nonsense. That's proven to be that might be a bit harsh. That has proven to be value. You find out that, and you find out that people are willing to actually subscribe to remain. That's one. Secondly, since we started the Body Book Club, I'm not sure anybody has been kicked out on account of not paying you so much and whatnot. We have to use from that money to send out data so that they can read and review. Another very interesting thing that I've learned is that we've not read any book that is paid. It is amazing. It is outstanding. It is wow. So much knowledge out there. So much advantage. Well, wow. So much knowledge out there. So much advantage. Well, I mean, able to read. But look at just look at what we've been able to achieve. Reading and reading and reading and reading. You know, he had this inferior this thing that I didn't go to university and all of that. But he reviews as good as any other person. After joining us for a few months, his reviews began to pack a punch, a very serious punch, and his writing greatly improved. But yeah, look forward to meeting again next year, to way bigger than this. For a lot of us that have scores for the Body Book Club, let's see how we can get that done. And I'm open to all the information, as it were. Oh yeah, someone is trying to join now. Gideon, you're a bit late. Yes, Gideon, that's very important. Gideon, good evening. How are you doing? We are closing, but in 1 minute, tell us your experience in the Body Book Club. You have been part of the Body Book Club for don't Mr. Gideon.
Okay, okay. Good evening, sir. Good evening, everybody. I'm sorry for joining late, first of all. Yes, it has impacted on me greatly because it made me more responsible as regards reading. as regards reading, because in the club we just even with our, oh my god,
I can hear you from here.
Loud and clear.
okay. So I was saying that it makes me time conscious. I know I have a book to read and I do not have in the list of other things I can create time to read. And of course, readers as leaders, there's no book read that is a waste of time. For every book I've had to read, I gain something, I become a better person, I have more knowledge because I have now gathered from the experiences of other persons. This is what I think I would just say in a nutshell.
With us, come back,
Actually,
oh,
I'm
come.
not.
You are not, because I know there's no Gideon amongst the only G that we have there is good portion. So much. God bless you to everyone who has been here. I just cannot. I'm honestly flabberwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed. Have and improve upon. I'm growing. I'm learning how to manage people better. I'm learning how to. In 1 minute.
My network, but once I heard from Gideon now, I have realized that this gatherings is about reading club, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is actually my first time joining this call, but we'll look forward to get familiar with all of you guys, and I really appreciate being with you. Nice to meet you all.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Mohammed. So, thank you, everyone. Thank you, David. Thank you, Anne. I have someone who is very dear to me. Let me thank him very much, especially. He's helping us stream on YouTube so that we can always refer back to this conversation. His name is Dominion Onige. He's a young man. He is. No, Dominion, I will not make your head swell this me. He's a great person to have in your corner, and one of the things the Body Book Club has taught me is that one of the best ways to grow people is to give them responsibility. Sitting across a table and mentoring and talking, that does not produce a whole lot more from the other person, aside when you give them something that they have to do, like you have to read and you have to review. That's where when a person has something to do, that's when you begin to see the depth of both character and quality in what they do. So thank you so much, Dominion, for helping us stream. Thank you to your dad. Thank you to your mom also for allowing you to do this and stay very late up with us. God bless you. So good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Did anybody have question? Good night. Oh, thank you, Dominion. Good night.